Hussbus bus stop. JP Hussey here, owner of the Hussey Team Mortgage Advisors, with this week's Hussbus bus stop. This week, let's talk down payment assistance. All right, we've all heard that. And we want to talk about it because our brokerage and other brokerages can get this. We now have access to the PA Housing Finance Agency, PHFA. We have access to their loan products. All right, only for Pennsylvania. It's assistance type. It's a piggyback to regular loans, which I'll get into. All right, but we have access to that now, which is something that's been alluded to the brokerage world for many, many years. So it's really cool that we took the training and now we have access to that. All right, but let's go back to down payment assistance and what it is, and maybe a simplistic type way, because it can be pretty complex. All right. So the general rule with down payment assistance programs, all right, general rule, all right, is if you are well off financially, all right, let's say you have a bunch of money in the bank, you're making very good money, okay, general rule is you're not going to qualify for a lot of these. Now, there's a couple little ones in there where you will, where they don't have income limits, things like that, okay, but that's the general rule. These programs are really made for housing and to help people get housing, all right? And to give them maybe a little bit easier way of getting, I want to say, I hate the word easy, but yeah, an easier way, some help to buy a home, where in typical mortgage world, right, it might be tough for them to get a home, all right? So they may have some things like lower mortgage insurance for putting less than 20% down. They also have money that they can give you as the actual down payment. Because remember, when you buy a home, all right, you have down payment money, right? Remember, that just goes towards the purchase. And then you have other closing costs that each state has, transfer tax, title insurance, outside of the down payment. Some people get confused. Down payment, they think, is all the money they need. Not necessarily. So there's down payment assistance. And that's where that, generally the term for these programs is down payment assistance programs. All right? So there's a bunch of them out there. And remember, if you're not in Pennsylvania, other states have these as well. And there's where it gets kind of confusing is a lot of times each county has grants, right, which could be called down payment assistance, which it is. It's grants that you have to go take education for. It can be complex, and that's the point I'm trying to get to, all right? You can take advantage of these, all right? But a lot of times, sometimes, it doesn't even make sense for you. There's ways to get things done with a regular loan, all right? So I'm trying to kind of, a lot of people come to us and goes, is there any down payment assistance? Like, that's what, and it's not like, oh yes, here's free money. It's not like that. You have to work for it. You have to fall into a certain bucket, right? With credit scores, like we said, income limits. You can't make too much money sometimes to get these things. Because like we said, if you're doing well, let's leave it to the people that need a little bit extra help, right? That's really the basis of these types of programs. And they're great, right? But to get in a little bit more, here's generally how they work and how they can be a little bit more complex. And unfortunately, you hate to say it, kind of like with VA loans sometimes. Sometimes sellers, okay, don't want some extra quote-unquote drama with a loan, all right? And if they see you're going with this type of loan, you may not get the home either, right? So it's a weird world that we're living in, weird market, but we have faith that everything's starting to come back, some more inventory, and once it's more healthy, these things are going to be available for everyone, and you're going to have a better chance of getting the house, okay? So anyway, here's how they kind of work, all right? Yeah, let's say you come to us. We look at a regular, maybe it's a FHA loan or a conventional loan. That's the first base. Like if you're not using any down payment assistance, you still need this front loan, let's call it, all right? This first loan that you have to get underwritten through, all right? And then as you get through that, the whole time on the back end, we're looking at all these other guidelines for this down payment assistance, because then you have to fall into that bucket as well. This is sometimes called a double underwrite, all right? You got to underwrite the first loan, the regular loan, but then once you're done with that one, then you have to go sometimes to these down payment assistance places, whether it's with the county, they underwrite it for their specific program to give you money, whether it's a grant, which you don't have to pay back, or it's a second lien, right? There's a lot of different things going on. There's only so much I can say. Go to phfa.com, read about it. for those, all right? Stuff outside of that, too. But it's like a double underwrite, right? And that's why sometimes sellers don't want it, because it's some extra drama. Some extra things could go wrong. So you're just whittling down, going through, making sure you qualify for all these programs, and then you get in and you get qualified. So it's sometimes like a double underwrite. They're not easy to do. None of it's easy to do, so do it if you can. But there's some extra stuff on top of it, because let's remember what loans are and what's happening here. Someone is giving you money in the hopes that you pay it back, right? According to their guidelines, all right? So sometimes we forget what loans are. You're getting money for something you don't have. So you kind of have to fall in line. The people giving you the money kind of hold the rules, and they make the rules, all right? They're legitimately giving you money, all right? So that's a little bit on down payment assistance. I hope that helped. Ask us any questions, all right? But there's a lot more to it than, yo, give me some down payment money. A lot more to it than that. Later.
Hussbus bus stop.